it's Caitlin and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can meal prep your breakfast, lunch, and dinner for the school or work week all in under 1 hour. Everything in this video is going to be vegan, obviously, but it is also going to be fall inspired because 'tis the season, and fall or autumn is my favorite season because I love using warming spices and eating cozy foods and pumpkin. What? This video is sponsored by Thrive Market, which, as you guys know, I team up with on a monthly basis to bring you guys delicious recipes. I personally purchase almost all of my non-perishable pantry staples from Thrive Market, and not only have I saved so much money, I also save a ton of time because they're delivered straight to my door and I don't have to drive through traffic to get to the grocery store. If you live in the United States and you've never tried Thrive Market before, today is your lucky day because we're offering you $60 worth of organic groceries for free. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video to sign up, and if you're already a member to Thrive Market, I'll also have a link down there where you can receive a free jar of almond butter with your purchase. That's all I have to say for now, so let's get into the recipes. So first we're going to be making pumpkin spice latte overnight oats, and this recipe is amazing and only takes 15 minutes. So you can use brewed coffee for this recipe if you like, but personally I'm pretty sensitive to caffeine, so instead I'm using this Tea-Chino, which is an herbal coffee that I got on Thrive Market. It's made from carob, chicory, and a bunch of other ingredients, but I especially love this caramel nut flavor. So we're going to brew our Tea-Chino just by adding some hot water into a bowl, along with 1 cup of plant milk just to make the oats a little bit more creamy. So I put the tea bags in, let them sit for a few minutes, and then once they were done, as you can see, we get a nice coffee infused latte, quote unquote. We're also going to add some vanilla extract and some maple syrup to sweeten things up a bit. And we're also going to add the juice of 1 lemon. It may sound strange, but I really think the acidity from the lemon helps to bring the pumpkin pie flavors out. So then we're just going to stir that all together just to make sure everything is well incorporated, and we're going to add our dry ingredients. So personally, I prefer to use a mix of rolled oats and quick oats because I like the resulting texture from this, but if you only have one or the other, that is okay. We're also going to add some ground flaxseed and some pumpkin pie spice because duh. And then we're going to mix everything together, and keep in mind that this mixture is going to thicken a little as it sits, so it might look a little bit runny at first. But we can't forget our pumpkin, so we're going to add a can of pureed pumpkin to this mix and then stir all of this together, and this will thicken the mixture up a little bit more, and it will also give you a pumpkin flavor and that lovely pumpkin color as well. So what's not to love? So at this point our oats are pretty much done. You can store them however you'd like. I like to use old glass peanut butter jars or mason jars. They're pretty cheap to purchase. So you're just going to pour about a cup to a cup and a half in each jar. This should make about 5 jars total, and then after you've filled your mason jars, you can top them with whatever you'd like. I decided to use some blueberries, some pumpkin seeds, and some coconut chips. So if you're taking this breakfast with you on the go, all you need to do is seal the jars up and pop them in your fridge, or if you have the pleasure of eating your breakfast at home, you can still prep this ahead of time and just put it into a bowl and then top it however you want in the morning when you're ready to eat it. And that's pretty much it for this one. So next we're going to be making a kale Waldorf salad with lentils, and this takes about 15 minutes as well. So to start out, we're actually going to make our dressing, and we're going to be using soaked cashews for this recipe. You want them to soak for a few hours, but a cheat trick is to put them in boiling water, and then you only need to soak them for about like 20 minutes, and they're totally easy to work with at this point. So we're going to put our soaked cashews into a blender, as well as a tablespoon of mustard, some salt, a generous amount of fresh black pepper, a little bit of water just to thin things out, and then this may sound weird, but we're actually going to be adding some pickle juice. This gives the cashew dressing, which is kind of a mock cashew mayo, a really authentic taste. I'm not really sure how it works, but it does. So we're just going to blend that all up, and you should get this pretty thick dressing. We want the dressing to be thick because we're going to be massaging it into our salad. So now comes the salad part. We're going to be using a whole bunch of kale for this recipe because we're going to be eating it for a week. So what you want to do is de-stem the kale as I just showed you here. Then you're just going to break each leaf up into sort of bite-sized pieces, and you're just going to repeat this with the rest of the bunch of kale until you have a giant bowl of kale. And now we're going to massage the salad with your hands, and this helps to break down the kale leaves and make them a lot more tender and less bitter. And I decided to add some green lentils for some plant-based protein and to make the salad a little bit more satiating for a meal. But a traditional Waldorf salad always has grapes, celery, and apples, so obviously we're going to add those too. I diced mine pretty thin and cut my grapes in half just so I get more of a fruity mix throughout as I ate the salad. And then now for meal prep, we're just going to dress this in the juice of half of a lemon, and this is mostly so the apples don't brown. And I would only recommend adding the dressing once you were actually ready to eat the salad. So here's my example lunch box. You can just put it all in a bento box, and you'd want to keep your dressing separately. You can also mix the salad with the dressing the night before, so I'm just showing you how to do it here. You'd put your portion of salad with 2 to 3 tablespoons of dressing and then just mix everything together. And then you could pack this way or put it into a serving bowl. And then you can't forget the final garnish for any Waldorf salad is a handful of freshly chopped walnuts. So we're just going to add those on top, and then we're ready to enjoy. And I personally love this salad. I think it's more fall inspired because of the lentils and kale, and it definitely is a hearty meal for me. But that's not to say you might not want some snacks. So I thought this meal would go really great with crackers, and I just wanted to show you guys 2 options that Thrive Market has. I love both of these, so I hope you would too. So then finally for our dinner, we're going to be making a Chipotle pumpkin and chickpea curry, and this only takes 25 minutes. So I'm going to be making this recipe in my handy dandy all clad prep and cook. So to start out, we're just going to add some onion, a de-seeded jalapeno, and red pepper into the food processor with 3 cloves of garlic. And then we're just going to pulse or blend all of this until it forms a thick and slightly chunky paste. And this should have a little bit of liquid in it, which makes it pretty easy to saute. So with this handy dandy machine, I can saute in the exact same pan, which I think is pretty awesome. So I just scraped the sides down and then sauteed this pepper, onion, garlic mixture for a few minutes. Then I added in some freshly minced ginger, as well as a few different spices and seasonings. They will all be in the recipe post for this recipe. And I just mixed all of this together, and then I sauteed this for another 2 to 3 minutes until the spices were nicely incorporated and the mixture started to brown a little more. And then at this point, we're going to add our remaining ingredients. So we have some chickpeas, a can of fire roasted tomatoes, a can of pumpkin, about 3/4 of a cup of water, and half of a pound of cherry tomatoes. So at this point, you're just going to give everything a good stir, bring this to a simmer, and then let it cook for about 15 or so minutes. My machine has a nice stirring handle, so all I had to do was seal it up and set a timer for 15 minutes, which I thought was even more convenient. But yeah, once that's done, it should look a little bit something like this. And we have 2 final touches. We're just going to add the juice of half of a lemon to give the curry some acidity, and then we're also going to add about 2 cups of fresh spinach and just stir this in. And because the mixture is still hot, the spinach will wilt a little, so it'll be nicely cooked, but it won't be overcooked like it would have been if we put it in and let it cook for the full 15 minutes with the rest of the curry. You know what I'm saying? But that is it for this curry. If you would like, you can serve this on its own, but I thought it would be really good with some quinoa. So while the curry was cooking, quinoa only takes 15 minutes to cook, so I cooked some up as well and just put it in a little Tupperware to eat throughout the week. So we have our quinoa and we have our curry. The curry makes more than this, but I was just showing you guys for video purposes. But when you're ready to serve it up, you can serve your curry and quinoa. I put some extra fresh jalapeno slices on top, and you're all ready to go. If you want to use another grain like brown rice or white rice, you could totally do that as well. Just keep in mind that those do take a little bit longer to cook. And that is it for our fall inspired meal prep. It's been a while since I filmed a meal prep in 1 hour video, but if you guys liked it and want me to film more, definitely let me know in the comments below. And also, because fall is basically the season of pumpkin, you guys should comment below and tell me what your favorite pumpkin food is. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like down below, and if you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe as well by clicking that button down there. I post 2 new videos every single week. Also, don't forget to check out those links for Thrive Market, and as always, I will have all the recipes and ingredients, etc. listed in the description of this video, so be sure to check that out as well. Other than that, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time of day it is for you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!